Hi guys, Miss Owens here. This is going to be a slightly longer video than what I typically do. I'm going to lead you through an entire mega synopsis. This is a two-sided version, including all of the forms of a verb that we've learned this year and all years leading up to this. If you are a senior, this is your very last assignment, and it's going to count as a quiz. If you are not a senior, this will be your first one in your practice one. You're going to do another one next week that will count as your final summative open notes quiz. I recommend you have your notes out in front of you. Obviously, you're going to have your own word and your own person and number exclusive to you, but we all share the same information we're going to be working from, and you can see that my tabs are open right here. I've got my blue card. I've got my back to basics participle notes, which is the most complete slide presentation with all of our notes on it. I'll include these. And the future active infinitives, which was the last infinitive we learned, so it is the most complete of your slides. Keep in mind, you got so much work to look back on, and here it is all categorized for you online. You can click back and see your own work and your own examples. I also want to say that this is the last assignment for seniors, but it's the only assignment for anyone this week. Because of the holiday weekend, we are only posting one assignment for Latin this week, so this is the only one you got. The other thing I want to make sure that I say loud and clear is that if you are missing anything from before spring break on Friday, that will be taken down. I've got some students who have done a wonderful job in distance learning and have brought up their grades or made it so that they could pass. But I also have some students who, only really kicked in the second half or have been spotty. And I just got to say, I am going to make sure that I have enough time to grade the work that I have. So if you are missing something from before spring break, anything from the months of late February or early March that is on Google Classroom, you need to finish it by the end of this week. It's going to go down this weekend, okay? The stuff from the second week of April onwards, that stuff will stay open and on until the end of next week. Seniors, this is your last week, so anything and everything you have missing needs to go in, but everybody else, you've got until June the 5th to submit late work. All right, that's enough announcements. Let's go ahead and jump in here. This is a synopsis. You've done many of these already this year. I'm going to lead you through this synopsis that has to do with the word divido, dividere, divisi, divisus, which means to divide or to separate. This verb is going to give me information. It's going to give me my principal parts that I'm going to use, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's also going to tell me which conjugation, so spelling that this belongs to, right? O-E-R-E for this. I'll explain that one a little bit more in just a second here, just showing you the kind of information you get. Over here on the right-hand side, it's going to give you a person and number. Person and number, that is going to be consistent throughout your entire worksheet. You only really need it for the front page, the back page. Those forms do not have a person. But it's going to be the same all the way through. This word synopsis is a Greek word that means basically like a snapshot. So we're going to be looking at all of the different tenses in the active, and then all the different tenses in the passive, using that first plural ending. Okay, first thing I want to do is figure out which conjugation divido, dividere belongs to. You've got many resources for this, but the one that I found easiest to bring up here is going to be on the back of your blue card. If you have a physical blue card, good for you, I'm proud of you. But if you're using, if you do have that, then it has notes or spaces for notes in the back for your participles and infinitives. It doesn't have this. This is exclusive to the blue card that is available on your Google Classroom, okay? Feel free to use whatever works for you, but this is what I'm going to show you. The verb, again, is divido with an O, and then dividere, E-R-E. No long mark on that. That's going to be third. It's not second, because it doesn't have a long E-R-E. And it's not third I-O, because the first form does not end in I-O. This is a plain old third conjugation verb. Why do I need to know that? I need to know that because the formula for my present tense, and remember the left-hand side here is the active, is going to be stem plus vowel plus ending. Well, the stem I'm always going to get in the same way. I'm going to cut off the last 3 letters of that second principal part. Here, that's dividere. So I'll go ahead and do that. D-I-V-I-D. And then I want to add a vowel. The vowel is determined by the conjugation. You can see them listed here. First, second, third I-O, and fourth. I'm going to be using the third And I'm just going to take that I that's right there, I, and add it to my form. And then I want my ending. My ending is going to be dictated by this information in the top right-hand corner. I want the first plural ending. Going back to my blue card, you're going to notice that all of your endings, and notice it's written right here underneath the word ending, they're always written the same way, 3 and 3. That also corresponds with how we know our verb endings are called, right? These are the first, these are the second, these are the third person. This whole left-hand column is singular. This whole right-hand column is plural. Now I want first plural. I'm going to take a second and decide what that one is. It's mus. Don't forget, these endings also correspond to their translations. They're always the same as well, and hopefully you remember those from Latin 1. I, you, he, she, it, we, that's one we're using today, y'all, and then they. All right? Cool. So, just need to add my ending here, mus, dividimus. The translation is also on your blue card. It is right here. Am is our blanks, ing. It's happening right now. There are lots of ways to express that. Mus means we, so we want to say we there. We are dividing. Spell it correctly. I could also just say we divide. That's fine too. All right, imperfect. Same things in play here. I'm going to go to the next box. The boxes correspond on the paper in order to the ones you want to look at here on the card. Stem plus vowel plus ending again. Same stem. E-I-V-I-D. Our vowel for the third conjugation is E. And our ending here for the imperfect first person plural is ba-mus. B-A-M-U-S. Translation, was or were ing. We're still get that we there. We were dividing. Okay, future tense. Here we go, future tense. Future tense has 2 boxes in play. Note that. And if you just read this, guys, it comes to you really easily, right? It says future conjugations for first and second. First are those ARE words. Second is that long ERE word, right? We don't have those. We've already determined that divido, dividere is third. So we want to jump down to this box. This is the formula, and these are the endings for the third IO, and fourth, okay? Still that same stem. Second principal part, take off the last 3 letters, D-I-V-I-D. We want to get our vowel. And here, check it out. It says third conjugation doesn't use a vowel. No vowel for this one. Okay, skip that. The ending. The endings are still written in the same way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm taking this one right here. E-M-U-S for this one. Dividimus. Okay. Future tense translation. Will blank. So it's still that same person. We will divide. Great. Perfect tense. Next box. It's just stem plus ending. That's great, but check it out. There's a change. The third principal part stem, not the second principal part stem. We're going to cut off the I from the third PP. All right, that sounds easy. Divis. All right, D-I-V-I-S. Take off that I. Okay, cool. And we're going to add our ending. The endings are still 3 and 3, and I'm taking the one from the top right-hand corner, that first person plural, I-M-U-S. Divisimus. There you go. Translation is blank ed. Easy. We divided. Blue perfect. Next box, third principal part stem. We know that one. Divis. Same thing as up here. Plus the ending E-R-A-M-U-S. Divisiramos. There you go, my stem. And then ending. Translation here, had blanked. Had blanked. We had divided. I almost said blank or typed out blank. Okay. Future perfect. Next box. Right here. Again, that third principal part stem, cut off the I. Easy. D-I-V-I-S. Adding the ending in the top right-hand corner, because this is first person plural still, E-R-I-M-U-S. Love it. Translation, will have blanked. Okay. So, we will have divided. Cool. Now my active side is done. I need to go down to the passives. The passives you're going to see are going to follow a lot of the same formula. It's just going to be a different ending. That's the thing that the passive does. All right. I'm going to go through this a little bit more quickly. I'm going to still do every single step and spell it out for you. And I'm also going to do the back. So if you need to just skip ahead, you feel like you got the passive, you're good, feel free to skip to the participles or infinitives, okay? All right, my present tense for the passive voice, stem plus vowel plus ending. I get my stem by taking off the last 3 letters from the second principal part. That should sound familiar. It is. It's exactly what we did up here, D-I-V-I-D. I need my vowel. Third conjugation is going to be an I, add an I. And my ending this time is M-U-R, really more. Translation is still we. We are being blank ed, right? It needs to have a be, being, or been to become passive. We are being divided. All right. Imperfect tense. Next box down. Second principal part stem. Take off those last 3 letters. We know that now. It's D-I-V-I-D. My vowel here is an E. And my ending is B-A-M-U-R. Bamur. B-A-M-U-R. Okay, translation-wise, we're looking at somebody was or were being. Oops, I should say ED. Love it when I find typos. Was or were being ED. So we were being divided. Cool. Future tense. Same thing as we saw over here with the actives. There are 2 boxes for the future. We still know we're working with the third conjugation vowel. It will not let us forget that, right? Because we're looking for 3 every time. So we're going to use this box right here. Get my same stem, divid, get my same vowel, oh, no vowel for this one, and get my ending, E-M-U-R. Stem, no vowel, ending, do any more. Okay, and the translation here is will be blank ed. So, we will be, spelled will there, be, I did it again, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to extend this out any longer than it needs to be, I'm sorry. Divided, we will be divided. Okay, now, look at this. Perfect. The first thing I see in bold and in capitalized words here, 2 words, 2 words. So my form's going to be 2 words. I'm going to use the 4th principal part, and I'm going to use a second form taken from this list. Don't forget, there is a difference between the singular and the plural. US is for singular, I is for plural. So let's go ahead and show you in action. I'm going to use the 4th principal part, which here is divisus. D-I-V-I-S-U-S. Sure why these are centered. I'm going to just go ahead and get my formatting in place here. Everything to the side, fine by me. All right, divisus is the first word. The second word is going to be sumus. Oh, but that reminds me that sumus is plural, and that means that divisus is not going to end with a US, it's going to end with an I, right? Because it is also plural. It's kind of like those noun rules. Equus is a horse, one single horse. Equi, multiple horses. Discipulus, discipuli, right? Singular, plural. Okay, pluperfect. Let's see. Same thing going on here. 2 words. 4th principal part stem. Second word form. He, vi, sus. Ooh, I have to change it to I again. Eramus. So when I skip my translation, so I'm going to go back up here and catch that. For the perfect tense, it's has or have been blank ed. So I'm going to say, we have been divided. And feel free to go through this and do all the forms and then come back and do all the translations. You do it how you want to do it, okay? Pluperfect. Let's get that translation caught up there. Had been blank ed. We had been divided. Awesome. All right, future perfect. Future perfect, also 2 words, also uses the 4th principal part and a second form. Here it's erimus, E-R-I-M-U-S. So same thing here, divisi, erimus. Cool. And we know it's we, but it's going to be we will have been blank ed. Divided. Love it. Okay, cool. All right, on to the back. For this one, I'm no longer going to be using my online blue card. You might be using your physical blue card because you might have these notes on there, which would be awesome. The first of these 2 charts says participles. This is something that we did a lot of practice with through March and into April. So if you want to go back and look at any of your own work, I highly recommend it. Okay, we're still using that same verb. Divido, dividere, divisi, divisus, which means to divide or to separate. And I want to fill in these blanks that don't have X's, right? Those are the ones that exist. So For my participles, I'm going to go, yeah, this is fine. For that blank right here, I'm going to be looking at the notes for this box. For my present active participle, I'm going to find my second principal part stem, and I'm going to add the correct ending for that one. Let's see if I got a better one here. This is way better. Okay, so get your second principal part stem, take off the last 3 letters. Well, I know how to do that. I've been doing that all the way through, right? D-I-V-I-D. Great, easy. And then according to the correct conjugation, I want to add one of these endings. It is a third conjugation word, right? First, second, third IO, and fourth are the order because that's the order we would write them in. So I want to get ins and intis. So I'm going to write out here, duidens. I'm going to write out my whole word, intis. You just do like a dash with the ending. I won't count it wrong. I love to see that whole word, though. That brings me a lot of joy. Okay, and I'm actually just going to cancel out my blue card so I don't accidentally keep clicking over to it. And I'm going to have the translation in that same box, and the translation is blank ing. And this word means to divide, so the translation is dividing. Cool. All right, let's get that perfect passive, that PP, right? Here we go. Our perfect passive participle is going to be right here. It's going to show you that it's going to use the fourth principal part. We're going to use -a-um, and the translation is having been blank ed. Well, that's easy. There's almost nothing for me to form here. Just going to put devisus, comma, -a-um. Now that's fully correct. And the translation is having been divided. Easy. All right, let's look at this future tense now, this bottom box right here. The future active participle is going to use, again, that fourth principal part. We're going to take off the US and add UR, US, -a-um, and the translation is about to or going to blank. So, devisus, excuse me. Now, take off the devisus. Take off that US and add UR-US, -a-um. Translation here is about to divide. Awesome. All right, home stretch, guys, we got the infinitives. This is our most recent thing that we've done, and I'm going to be using this future active infinitives slide presentation just to refresh my memory of all the things I need because it has the most complete notes, right? That's going to be attached to this if you need to use it. All right, we know that ours is third conjugation, right? That's the thing we've already determined. We're going to be using the third conjugation. With my notes here, we'll just go here and show you this example, all right? You've got so many examples of these notes, and hopefully the completed work that you yourself have done is probably right here on the tip of your tongue. But this present active infinitive, the one that's going to be in the top left-hand corner, that one is literally just the second principal part, right? There's no change to it whatsoever. So, D-I-V-I-D-E-R-E. We can see it right up here. I could copy and paste it if I want to. The translation is also just to blank, whatever it means. Here, to divide. All right, here's this present passive infinitive, which is going to be the one spelled out with a little bit more detail here. Here are all my notes. That's good, okay? I'm going to take off those last 3 letters, and I'm going to add the correct ending for the conjugation. Because we know this is third conjugation, I'm going to be adding an I. So, D-I-V-I-D-E-R-E. Take off those last 3, all 3 of those last letters. I'm going to add an I, and my translation is going to be, okay, to be blanky D. To be blanky D. So, to be divided. Awesome. Don't forget, I had you rewrite those notes out every single time. So if you don't like my slide presentation, it is on you to have some notes, right? Okay, the perfect active infinitive, perfect active. If we go to this right here, I can show you this example of our earlier notes. We're going to go to the third principal part, cut off the I, and add ISSE. Hopefully that's familiar to you. You didn't do that very long ago. Okay, D, we see, cut off the I, add ISSE. Oops, spell it right, ISSE. And the translation is to have blanky D. So, to have divided. There we go. Cool. Perfect passive is the next one here. We can see this spot filled in on this slide presentation. Going to be 2 words. It's pretty par for the course when it's perfect and passive. We're going to use the 4th principal part, space, and then the word essay. Translates as to have been blank ed. So, die Risus essay. And the translation, to have been divided. Okay, awesome. Last one here is that future active. And I hope that you're noticing too that just noticed a typo there. The perfect passive over here and the future active are going to actually look a lot like their corresponding boxes in here and here, right? Because they use those participles to form what they got to form. Let's get down here to this future active infinitive. It's going to be 2 words. We use the 4th principal part. We're going to take off the US, add the URUS, and space, then essay. So, DIVISUS, take off the last 2, URUS, space, ESSE. Translation is to be about to divide. All right. If you made it this far, then hopefully this did you some good. Feel free to ask me any questions. Again, this is the only assignment you guys have this entire week. Please be thoughtful about it. If you are a senior, this is going to count as your final open notes quiz. If you're not a senior, then this is going to be the warm-up. You're going to get your own next week, and it is going to be a quiz grade in the grade book, so it's going to be worth a lot. So please do your best. Let me give you some good feedback. Let's talk about it. If you got questions, come join me in my office hours every day, 9 to 10 a.m. Bye, guys.